Hello again, everyone. Edwin Learnard back once again. In this YouTube astrological segment, I'm going to be dissertating and talking about having a Virgo Sun and a Leo Ascendant in the natal chart. Now, these signs may be adjacent, but they are very strongly different in their nature and expression. Virgo Sun could be very humble, reticent, shy, kind of retiring personality, very reserved, conservative, can be very frugal as well, and very reticent. But you look at Leo, and Leo rising is like the attention getter. They could be very flamboyant, attention seeking. They could be very glamorous and very extroverted, and the type that's very charismatic and magnetic and likes to stand out, where Virgo is kind of the antithesis that way. They don't really necessarily want the attention or want to stand out. But in this case, Virgo Sun will obviously be a little bit more attention seeking and will not mind any kind of accolades or recognition for what they do. Now, Virgo Sun, we look at this, Virgo Sun can be shy, and Leo Ascendant isn't. And you see a lot of the Virgo characteristics can be brought out in a very magnanimous and strong manner, considering it's the Ascendant is Leo. These things that are work related, what they do at work, may be very dramatized and come out very strongly, and this person doing these work related things may really stand out a lot stronger as opposed to the average Sun in Virgo person. Now, when we look at the Sun and the Ascendant, okay, the Sun in a natal chart represents the person's basic wants, while the ascendant or rising sign can represent the manner or method in which one attains these basic wants. So with the Virgo Sun, the basic wants can be connected with wanting to analyze, being industrious, things that are work related, having organization, being helpful to others, being of service to others, and often connected with perfection. And these Virgo wants and traits, they may come out strongly through the Leo Ascendant, and may come out in a very strong and flamboyant type or flashy manner, so to speak, or might be brought out magnanimously. They may be this punctuality, or for example, Virgo is strongly associated with being punctual and reliable, and this person may make a point about this and maybe boast about this perhaps to some degree, and this person might gain their attention and respect from others because of this, because of that Leo Ascendant being very magnetic and charismatic and really the type that stands out in a crowd. These Virgo basic wants may be attained through a Leo-like profession, such as entertainment. You might see the perfection qualities come out, and then in attention to being punctilious with details may come out even through something could be connected with sports, like I stated before, the entertainment, being some kind of stage performer, acting, drama on some level, perhaps even in their creative endeavor. It could come out in creativity to some degree, their creative endeavors. Something, it could be even something connected as far as Leo goes. Leo is often enamored with children, and somebody, this might come out maybe in some work-related field, such as being some kind of counselor or something to children. It could even be a teacher, for example, that teaches young children or something. That could be another possibility. But whatever it may be, the work ethic of Virgo will come out strongly, and people will actually can notice this of this person. And also there might be some kind of, this person might seek maybe some kind of notoriety and recognition for work related things, or even if and also may come out even if it's just in their own general community, and might get some recognition for this. Now, it's important to look at when you just look at the aspect that is made between the Sun in Virgo and Leo Ascendant. You could have conjunction can take place sometimes. A conjunction, let's say somebody has the Virgo Sun at 2 degrees. and they have a Leo Ascendant at 29 degrees. This would form an out-of-sign conjunction, and you would have a strong amalgamation and integration of these energies, and you could see how it could be very intensifying. And you could, let's say that the person has, for example, they can have an out-of-sign sextile aspect take place. This would be, let's just say, for example, someone has Virgo Sun at 29 degrees and Leo Ascendant at 1 degree. That would form an out-of-sign sextile aspect, which could be auspicious and would have a better integration and blending of the signs, as opposed to not having an aspect or having an adverse aspect, and you would have a positive blending or integration with those signs. These signs would still be neutral by the signs themselves, but would be better, but may work better together if it is in that out of sign sextile aspect. Like I said, Virgo Sun 29 degrees, for example, and Leo Ascendant at 1 degree. Now let's say you could have a couple minor aspects take place as well. Let's say you could have a semi-sextile aspect take place between the Virgo Sun and the Leo Ascendant. Let's say the Virgo Sun is at 28 degrees and you have a Leo Ascendant at 28 degrees. This would form a semi-sextile aspect, and which could be slightly positive and auspicious. You could have a good blending of these two, of this energy, but not as strong or as intense as if you were to have the out of sign sextile aspect take place. Now, you could also have, which would be a slightly adverse aspect, a semi-square aspect take place. Let's say the Sun in Virgo is at 15 degrees and you have a Leo Ascendant at 0 degrees. This would form an out, for example, of course, you would have a semi-square aspect take place, which could be slightly adverse, and you could have some feelings to some degree, not as much as if you had another Sun Ascendant combination, say, that had a square aspect. But a semi-square aspect, you could have some slight feelings, maybe of feeling misconstrued or misunderstood, and some modified feelings perhaps of dealing with maybe some exasperation and inner tension due to this. And you may feel that what you're projecting outwardly, even if you're not cognizant of the astrological positions, you may feel that what you're showing your outer demeanor, which is the ascendant, is strongly different than what is going inside, which is the Sun. Now, also look and see what house the Sun in Virgo resides in. Let's say that the Sun is in the first house. Now, Leo Ascendant may strongly suppress the Virgo energy to some degree. However, it may come out somewhat strongly in this particular house. For example, if the Sun is in the first house, you might see that analytical quality of Virgo and that attention to details connected with their appearance and with their outlook on life. And you may see this come out a little more strongly as opposed to having, say, the Sun in Virgo in the second or third with the Leo Ascendant, because the first house is an angular house and the first house is associated with the outer personality. But this will but in the first impression, though it may be more Leo, you might have a little bit more of a blending with the Virgo Sun than otherwise indicated. Now, let's say the Sun in Virgo is in the second house. This being punctilious with details, this might come out strongly, this analysis might come out in matters pertaining to one's finances and one's possessions and their values. Now, let's say the Sun in Virgo is in the third house. Well, you could see perhaps the Virgo tendencies and characteristics may come out prominently to some degree in matters connected with communication and if siblings and brothers and sisters, if applicable. Now, anyway, people, that'll conclude this YouTube astrological segment for having the Sun in Virgo and a Leo Ascendant in a natal chart. And stay tuned next time, where I'll be dissertating and talking about having a Virgo Sun and a Virgo Ascendant in a natal chart. Two things I want to get with you on before I head out. Firstly, the stars may impel but do not compel. And secondly, never isolate any single astrological element, aspect, planetary placement, position, configuration, influence, or what have you, and make an analysis of a person, astrologically speaking, based on this alone, because astrologically speaking, the person is the sum of all their components in their natal chart, and not just one. Until next time, people, stay well.